and her new children's book, as well as her new album, Morning Joe. We'll be right back.
Silent, all these years go by, will I still be waiting for somebody else to understand?
That's the smash hit, Silent All These Years, from the 1991 debut studio album by Tori Amos. Fast forward to today, and the talented singer-songwriter is debuting her first children's book inspired by her love of music. Entitled Tori and the Muses, the message encourages kids to put down social media and find a place where they can be creative without fear of judgment. And the Grammy-nominated multi-platinum singer-songwriter and New York Times bestselling author joins us now. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
This has a soundtrack to go with it.
Yes, it's just come out.
I love the message. Tell us about it. It's about fitting in, right?
Yeah, well, Tori has an argument with her father, little Tori. She's about 8.
Tori in the book, Tori.
Yes. And he wants her to play her boring music homework for her recital. And she wants to play what she wants to play and what the Muses want her to play. And he says they don't exist, they're make-believe, and they get you into a lot of trouble. Play these assignments by the time I get back. So they have a bit of a riff, and then he goes, and her 11 muses that she's been hearing since she can remember show up at her kitchen door, and then the journey begins.
And tell us why you decided to take on this project.
Well, I thanked the fairies and the muses in my liner notes. I didn't believe anybody read liner notes in my albums, and the head of Penguin Books read them and gave me a call and said, do you want to write a book about your relationship with your muses and the fairies? So
there you go.
And it's such an important message right now for our children, because there are not, my parents thought I was very strange, and they were right, but I was in my head. Like, I'd go in my room, I'd imagine, it's just like created things. Social media, and that's part of your message. You don't hear the muses. You don't, you
get sucked in.
Don't live in this, create this wonderful imaginative world if you're just looking at a phone, right?
That's right. And we learn through the story with her friends that Blake, one of her friends, his muses are insects. And there's a song that goes along with it called Insect Ballet that's on the soundtrack to the book that you find, you can stream and find them. And then her friend Anna, ingredients are her muses, and they pop off the shelf at the family's market stall. So she's finding how different people discover their muses, and then of course she has to get home to Dad, and she hasn't practiced those recital pieces. And that's the final denouement of the book. We'll see what happens.
Well, we won't spoil it here, but that's part of it, right? Each one, part of this message here is not just about music, but it's about finding your own path, whatever it might be, right?
That's right. And that, I believe we all have muses, but they appear differently to each of us. It's not as if one person can have the cornucopia and access to inspiration. We all can. But it appears differently, I believe, to each of us. And some people have a little bit of a tricky time finding them.
Yeah.
Tori, is it also about accepting the fact that you're not doing something unusual when you start hearing your muses? I started preaching as a little boy in the Church of God in Christ, and people thought, what is this boy preaching? But I could hear in my own inner voice, this is what I wanted to do. Is the book to give kids confidence? I'm going to give my grandson this, Marcus Al, the confidence of going by what you hear in your inner voice.
Absolutely, and I would love to hear you read that with your grandson.
Oh, that's nice.
Because I think it's the sharing of the grown-up with the child, sharing it. There's an exchange to be made with us and them and our inner child. Exactly like you said.
Absolutely. The new children's book, Tori and the Muses, goes on sale tomorrow. The accompanying soundtrack to the book is available to stream now. New York Times best-selling author and Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter Tori Amos, thank you so much for coming on the show this morning. And that does it for us this morning. Ana Cabrera picks up the coverage in 2 minutes.
That's great.